I know it's been a minute, but I'm live, y'all. Wait till some people come in. What's going on with my people? I know I was supposed to have been live. All I ask for is your patience, baby. That's it. What's going down? Make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm just waiting on some more people to get in. Then we're going to get into the conversation at hand. Make sure y'all hit that like button. What's going down? What's going down, y'all? Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. It does help me tremendously. How y'all doing? Everybody good? What's going down? Listen, y'all see what we about to talk about. My apologies. I was supposed to be on earlier, but I had some business to handle. So, good morning. Good morning. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. To the topic, I appreciate y'all from tapping in. I ain't gonna take up too much time. As y'all know, sometimes when I'm quiet, it's for a reason. I just like to see what type of content people are putting out. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I just like to peep out what's going on in the content universe. Just peeping what's going on. Sometimes silence speak volume, and I just been peeping out, man, the type of content people be putting out. Listen, I know sometimes as content creators, we tend to sometimes speak about things that we don't necessarily know everything about, right? And that's innocent. That's innocent, right? Sometimes you might be so excited about putting out some content that you may not get all the facts. You may not get all, the complete understanding at hand of what are you talking about. And this no shot at no brothers and sisters out there, but we got to be careful on the subjects that we touch on, because we may be doing something that's not malice, not harmful, not potentially trying to harm somebody, and potentially end up causing more drama to the situation. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about the Anhefe and King Pill situation. I've been seeing content being pushed out on these brothers by a couple of my favorite content creators. I really won. Shout out to Compton Rick Rock. I really enjoy his content. I'm sorry, what did you say? We gonna get into but shout out to Compton Rick Rock. I enjoy his content, but I think we got to be careful on staying on content too long. especially a subject that's as sensitive as Aunt Hefe and King Pill, the situation between those two brothers. Now, like I said, man, it's not, we don't potentially do cause harm, but when you talk about a certain type of thing, we got to understand that some people may take what we say, especially when you're doing a certain type of content like that, and take that and run with it. Like, your opinion means a lot, and you may not potentially trying to say the wrong thing and accidentally say the wrong thing. If that makes sense to y'all. Um, Not saying he's the brother saying the wrong thing, but I feel like when you keep talking about a certain topic, it can. I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm. When you keep talking about a certain topic, it's like egging it on, and it can cause it to be something that it's not. And that's what, as content creators, we got to be conscious about doing. We can't keep on talking about a certain topic. I know it's, everything ain't content, but when it hit the internet, a lot of people view it as content. But certain topics and certain things are very sensitive, and when you even just mention it or saying it, and you're not saying nothing, he haven't said anything wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but even just keep talking about it, somebody might view that as you trying to narrate the subject, even though you not. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's making sense to y'all. Like, even though you not pushing no type of narrative, but you keep talking about a certain type of situation, it don't do nothing but add fuel to the fire. I would just leave that subject alone. Like, let them brothers, hey, if they got beef or they got anything, let it be. You know what I mean? If listen, the greatest, the best way to eliminate all the noise is just being silent. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm upset with a brother or something like that, man, I'd rather not even say nothing. That's in general. That's just me. You know what I mean? I'd rather not even say nothing, because I know with me continually talking about a situation or talking about it, it will potentially cause nothing but it will potentially just do nothing but put fuel to the fire. And it's just gonna end up all nasty work at the end of the day. And we all don't want that. You know what I mean? It's fine. It's fine. Other people might see it later. It's fine. I appreciate you, but I'm not talking about that right now. So you can leave. I appreciate you tapping in. You can leave if you like. But right now, I think this is important because, like I said, we just got to be more mindful of the things we say and do on this platform. You know, and it's just not. Besides him, it's other content creators who do it, and they be actually causing issues because they be saying certain things that just be like, bro, certain things just don't need to be said, bro, at the end of the day. you know um I'm not when listen, when I got into this content thing, bro, and creating content and just talking, I wasn't I'm not one to keep on holding on to a certain topic because of some views. I stated this before. I don't chase views. This is not my goal. I don't care if nobody listen. I know somebody gonna listen at the end of the day, and I understand what that does when you continuously talk about something. That's my whole point about this whole thing, is to tear down these narratives. Just be a friend and a reminder to my brothers and sisters out there, because I understand that a lot of people just tend to get lost with this whole content thing, and kind of like not purposely diminishing their morals and dignity, but you can. You can. You just imagine being a content creator and you see a certain type of dollar that you never seen in your life or never received as fast as this whole content space. You know what I mean? Some people lose sight with being human. Being a person, being all for the sake of content, because what people believe is that you got to continuously push out content. Listen, supporters are going to be supporters. If people support you, they're going to continuously support you. You know what I mean? You don't have to continuously push out a narrative or content and that you not wholeheartedly you don't believe in, but you feel like you got to talk about this subject to keep the ball rolling, and it's not that deep for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna continuously say that, man. I'm gonna continuously say that because I'm just a reminder on this platform, bro. I'm not bigger than nothing. By the grace of God, I reach certain plateaus in my life within this content space. I hit certain goals, and not everybody able to do, achieve a lot of things that I achieved in this thing. And I'm grateful and humble about it. Like I said, bro, like, if you don't know, like, um a legendary artist hit me up not too long ago, and that was just dope. Just be able to hear that, like, actually somebody that you don't think in a million years will hit you up actually did. And I haven't yet spoke about it because it's like, I don't know. It's just I'm not one to just rush to talk about things and oh, because this person famous, or you know what I mean. I talked to that person. They was just showing me. He just showed me some love, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean. Like I said, bro, it's this whole thing. I just want my brothers and sisters to understand, bro, is that you don't have to. You can keep your integrity attached, your dignity attached while doing this content. You know what I mean? And if it's meant for you to be in certain spaces, you will be there. You know what I mean? And I have an opportunity to meet uh, uh somebody, that I've been listening to for many, many moons now. Um, that brother is a blessing. Just for even acknowledging me, that was a blessing for me to even have that conversation with that brother. Like I said, just showing me love, letting me know that he hear me, and he see me. And like I said, bro, that just goes to show what I've been saying is that you can be you, and if you authentically being you, it will reach the people that it need to reach. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to continuously push a certain type of narrative out because that's what everybody else is doing. And I want people to understand that. That's why I keep saying it. I'm intentionally saying this because I know if somebody repeatedly hears something over and over again, they start to get it. They start to have an understanding of what that thing you trying to say, and they might not get it the first time, they might not get it the second time, but best believe if you keep on, they gonna get it. You know what I mean? And I say that, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Um, I'm a little tired, y'all. Sorry, but you never know. You never know. Um, that's what I. That's all. That's all I know, man. Like, we just need to be reminded sometimes. We need to be reminded sometimes. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to come on this platform and hurt nobody and tear nobody down. I haven't yet done that. You know what I mean? I'm just simply being a reminder. And that's it, because I can tell. I can tell a lot of us out here is lost. I can tell a lot of us think that in order to keep it rolling, we got to keep doing the same old thing or doing what other people want you to do. Um, oh, I'm sorry about that. Hi. Um, Then that's, we don't have to keep doing the same what everybody want us to do. That's just something that people want you to believe, man. Anybody who done something great in this thing called life will tell you that, they're where they're at because they stepped out of the box, because they refused to do what everybody else is doing. Now, there is a way to do what everybody else is doing. It's just a way. It's always a way to go about it differently. And that's another thing. You don't have to do. You could do the same thing, but do it differently. Um, yeah, man, we just got to be careful of the things we say, man. Just seeing these two brothers into it over content is crazy. Like, this all happened, and then I don't care what nobody say or how you feel about it. It's Adam 22 fault. It's a fact. It's Adam 22 fault that these brothers and Hefe and King Pill are into it. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't care if you like me, hate me from saying it, but that's a fact, bro. Because had he didn't even bring that up, like I stated in my pre-recorded video, because he disliked it what King Pill said about the podcast topics, that conversation would never been had. That energy would have never been put out. You know what I mean? And it's a disappointment because for some odd reason, my brothers and my sisters, whatever, that support Adam 22, and I'm not trying to take none away from him, but for some odd reason, they don't see that it's his fault. And I don't know if it's because the opportunities that he presenting to them is kind of clouding their judgment, or what it is that he have a hold over them. But I feel like we got to be more mindful, man. It is his fault. I don't care how you want to chalk it up, bro, because them brothers, if you look at it, the whole Aunt Hefe and King Pill situation, bro, if you look at it at hand and get a better understanding, is that them brothers were sitting in a room, topic or conversation at hand. Don't you think that would have been the first thing he would have said to him? Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense, bro. If that was gonna be a conversation amongst them two brothers, why wasn't it been that would have been the first thing he would have said to him if he felt like that he needed to have that conversation. So that's why it seems like, I don't know if they not acknowledging the fact that that is his fault. It is his fault. Okay, what he want to say, of course he gonna say it's not, because it's him being accused of it. But I don't know if I don't understand it. You know what I mean? And as a person who putting people in position or have a platform as large as Adam 22 and then, excuse me, in a No Jumper podcast, you would think he will hold some type of into more understanding of, okay, if I say this and I do this, this can cause a chain reaction. So clearly he only care about the views and the money. Clearly. And he don't care about putting people in certain situations that can potentially cause them harm. You know what I mean? Everything is not content. Everything is not content. And whether King Pill and Hefe take it personally, somebody that know them or don't know them that's a part of those organizations could. Just because somebody made a King Pill made that type of song does not mean that King Pill reached those type of audience with that song. But now that it's been acknowledged, he did nothing but add fuel to the fire. Thank Adam 22 for that. And that's the problem. Just like with academics, bro. He contributed a lot of drama and BS when it came to narrating what was going on in Chicago. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but he was talking. Instead of telling people, don't do this, do that, don't go that way, go this way, he called himself narrating what was going on in the streets. And he wasn't doing nothing but making things worse. Because the type of reach he had, he didn't take full responsibility of the power that he had that came with that reach. And it appears, bro, like I said, with this whole YouTube content space, bro, when people reach a certain do and say what they wanted to say and do without having no type of without having, holding themselves accountable for anything that happens. God forbid, let's say something happened to Aunt Hefe, King Pill. Who gonna be at fault? Who gonna be at fault? Let's think about it. God forbid. Who gonna be at fault if something happened to those brothers? You think a sorry can fix that? You think I should never said that, I should have thought about it before I said it, can fix that? When the damage is done, there's permanent damage? No. No, it can't. That's why we gotta be careful of the content we putting out. Yeah. Not only the youth, we got grown ass crash outs out here. That's a fact. That's a fact. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see how much that we live in a world where people just don't care no more, bro. That ain't the type of space I like to keep myself in, and that ain't the type of space I'm allow myself to be in. And you shouldn't either. You know, I say it time and time again, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Take control. Understand that you have control. I don't care how much y'all get tired of me here saying the same thing. I'm intentionally saying the same thing. Take control. Only person that can push you in a certain type of space or keep you in that space is yourself. Take control. That's a fact. Once you start changing your mindset, bro, everything comes with it. Everything that you desire that comes with it. You take control. You try to get a better understanding. You keep God close. Your life is going to be better off. But these content creators out here that's chasing numbers, views, they going to get somebody hurt. And then they not going to take account, they not going to take responsibility of that, because it's easier to say, well, they started it. I was just talking about it. I bet you kept talking about it. You kept talking about it. Don't wait until it's too late. Because are you, okay, that person gone. Now what? That's just like, let's say somebody had beef, right? And a public figure was on a platform talking about this beef. And, they wasn't going back and forth with the beef, but they guys or whatever heard it from a platform, from a content creator. Now what happens? When somebody take that content creator serious because he putting out false information. If it didn't come out the horse's mouth, how do you think you know? You just going off this commentary. You just going off of what you think is going on, but what you think is going on can actually get somebody hurt because somebody in that circle or in those spaces can take your opinion and use that as a reason to go out and do something to somebody. That's why you need to be careful. That's why you got to be careful as a influencer, content creator, whatever. Because there's somebody out there that believe in the shit that you putting out. And I'm just a reminder. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to tear nobody down. I'm just trying to remind my brothers and sisters to be careful. That's all. I'll be back, y'all. Hold on.